My name is Dean Harrington with Shamrock Home Loans, and I want to tell you how God's providence works in getting you where He wants you to be, even when you go kicking and screaming sometimes. Several years ago, many years ago in fact, I became friends with a guy who did fundraising for the Catholic Church and the diocese for education in the Providence area. And he convinced me through his good efforts and just his heart for the people that were struggling to get private education in certain communities to come alongside and to donate money over a period of time. So we did that as a company for a couple of years, and I would meet with him 3 or 4 times a year and get updates on how everything was going. And along about the second year, he said, you know, you got to talk to a guy named Rick Ferris. He said, you are a strong Christian believer, you're a strong man in the Lord, you have this company, you got to talk to Rick Ferris. So I get in touch with Rick Ferris and I sit down and I find out that he owns or runs or manages, is the chairman of C12 New England, which I didn't even know what it was. And C12 was this organization of Christian business owners that came together in a peer-to-peer advisory group. So I went in a bit skeptical, a bit cynical, and said, well, how am I going to commit 8 hours a month to this and then 90 minutes here and 90 minutes there? Do I really need this? And I kept feeling God's hand pushing me, but I wasn't sold yet. So I'm back to the guy that introduced me, said, I'm not sure this is going to be for me. He suggested, well, why don't you sit with a couple of the members that are there now and ask them? So I met with a member and I sat down and said, do you think this is for me? You know me a little bit. Is this for me? Can I get something out of this? And she looked at me and said, you just asked the wrong question. The question is, what can you give us? Because right now we need you. You have a company that has some scale, you've been around a while, you have some contacts, you have some history, you've gone through some bumpy times, you're in a market-driven industry, there's a lot to be learned in a market-driven industry. We need you to join so that you can help. So I joined, because help was an easy call. 5, 6 years later, I can't believe the impact that C12 has had in my life. It's been phenomenal in every single area, from my family to my community, to my church community, to my business, to my employees, to my organizations, my volunteerism, everything. And it all started with a guy that I started donating small amounts of money to for education, who twisted me in God's way, and God used His hand to move me into a direction to bring me where I am today at C12, and I couldn't be happier.